Hello and welcome to Daily Dose Radio, a 5-minute-a-day podcast studying the Psalms verse by verse, recorded here in the dining room of the Bible Bistro, located in Sharonville, Ohio. Hey there, friend. Welcome back to Daily Dose Radio here in the Bible Bistro. I'm so glad you've joined me this week. We're looking at Psalm 67 all this week. Now, Psalm 67 is only 7 verses long. It's a beautiful little psalm. And let me give you today an introduction with the introduction to the psalm, and then we're going to look at verse 1 today. This psalm is nicely divided by 2 Selahs, and it also has 2 repeating phrases. We will call them refrains or perhaps choruses, because this is a psalm, a song. So perhaps these 2 repeating phrases compose the chorus of the song. Also, we have an introductory phrase that repeats in the last verse. So in the first verse, we have an introduction that then again repeats in the last verse. So out of 7 verses, we only have 3 really original 3 original verses here, because we have the 2 repeats and we have the introduction and the close, which are very much alike. So out of 7 verses, that doesn't leave us with a lot, does it? But this is beautiful. The refrains or the choruses add bones to the body of the psalm. The introduction and the close tell us about, the whole purpose of the psalm and everything else in between. And also there are 2 Selahs. So the Selahs nicely divide the psalm for us. And I'm not going to follow this. Well, actually, I'm going to follow the Selahs in the division. But of course, since I'm doing 5 days a week, then I have to break it up into 5 portions. So I'm not going to follow the Selahs strictly. But if you were to follow them strictly, you would break this into 3 sections. Verse 1, verses 2 through 4, and verses 5 through 7. Those would be the 3 sections, according to the Selahs. It's a lovely little psalm. There are some significant words that repeat in the psalm, and we'll talk about that as we go through here. The introduction to the psalm is of the choir master on the Niganoth, and we know Niganoth because we've had Niganoth in Psalm 6, Psalm 54, Psalm 55. That's a musical instrument or a tune name. And then it says a psalm, a song. So there's no author's name given. So this is another orphanic psalm. It's not of David or Asaph or Solomon or Moses or any of the guys that we know who wrote these psalms. This is just an unnamed psalm from somebody, we don't know who. So we don't have a title, so this is one of our orphanic psalms. We begin in verse 1, and if you'll allow me to read for you today, I'm going to read verse 1, just verse 1 today, Psalm 67. God be merciful unto us and bless us and cause his face to shine upon us. And then the Selah. Selah comes after that. Let me just take a break here just a second before I go on making a comment about the verse. I discovered in one of the translations that I have that they don't translate the Selah. As a matter of fact, they just leave it completely out. They don't do anything with it. It's just not there. And I wondered at that as I was reading that psalm, or reading that version of this psalm, and I thought how sad that they take out something that's meant for the singer, the reader, so that you can see the breaks and understand the pauses in the psalm. It's really sad that they don't do it, and it's also sad that so many of them don't include the introduction, which I made comment on last week. All right, so verse 1, God be merciful to us and bless us and cause his face to shine upon us. Does that sound familiar? It should, because it comes from Numbers chapter 6, verses 22 through 27. This is the blessing that the Lord gave to Aaron to speak over the people. The Lord bless thee and keep thee. The Lord make his face to shine upon thee and be gracious unto thee. So this is just a little bit different, but it is this blessing repeated here in verse 1. So who's this psalm for then? Well, this, of course, is a song to be sung by the people of God in the worship time of God. They're singing this song, and it could be that this song is their benediction, that they sing this song as a benediction. It would be a wonderful benediction for any church or any group worshiping God to to sing, whether it's in a church setting, in a congregational setting, or if it's just in some devotional setting by yourself. God be merciful unto us and bless us and cause his face to shine upon us. Selah. Now we'll break right there and we'll come back tomorrow. And tomorrow we're going to look at verse 2. So I hope you'll join me then here on Daily Dose Radio. Thanks for listening to Daily Dose Radio. For more fresh and delicious Bible studies, podcasts, books, and more, check out the Bible Bistro online and on YouTube. Join me again next time for Daily Dose Radio.